Let's talk about 2 tips that will help you as you prepare for your CELPIP or your IELTS test. Tip number 1 is identify your weaknesses. If you've been following me for a long time, you know I always emphasize on practice. But just completing one practice test after another isn't really or necessarily going to improve your score in any way. Why do I say so? Or if that's the case, why do I keep preaching practice? You know, I have students who literally complete so many practices, but their score did not necessarily improve significantly. Why? This is because they haven't been able to identify their weaknesses. You practice and you got like 20 out of 40, you don't go back to check. Why did I score 20 out of 40? What is the problem? What can I do to improve? Why did I not get this right? I was very certain my answers were correct. Why didn't I get it right? Students don't do that many times. You complete your practice, you check your score, and you move on to another practice. Nothing is gonna change. You're still gonna get the same score like you got the first time. Why? Because you did not know, or you were not able to tell what the problem was. In fact, you're also going to make the same mistakes like you just made. Let me tell you a little experience I have with some of my students. Sometimes when they've done CELPIP practices, we repeat the same practices that they've done before. They practice on their own and we redo those practices in class. You know what? These students still get the same score that they got when they practice on their own. You may wonder why. They've done it before, so why are they getting the same score? One simple reason. When they practice on their own, they did not go back to check which ones were correct, which ones were wrong, why did I not get it right, why did I get it wrong? So when they repeat the practice again, they are still going to choose the same answers that they chose the first time. So try to identify your weakness. Is your weakness in vocabulary? You should build it. Is your weakness in grammar? Build your grammar. Could it be that you're struggling to understand the accent or connected speech? What is the problem? Or could it be your spellings? Or could it be that you're writing your answers a little different than it is supposed to be written? All of those could be contributing factors to why you are not doing well. But unless you identify your weakness, you will not be able to work on them. So please identify your weakness. Every time you practice, go back and check, why did I not get these answers right? Or why did I get them wrong? And try to work on them. Step number 2 is improve in your vocabulary. Simple, right? Student will say, that's very basic. I was expecting to hear something something new. That's cliche. Yeah, as cliche as it sounds, it's actually a very important step if you want to do well in your IELTS or your CELPIP, reading and listening. Some students sometimes they struggle to answer some questions, or they struggle to understand a question because there is a vocabulary there that they do not understand, or they do not know what it means. So what can help you? The truth is there is no one person on earth who knows the meaning of every single word. No, we are not computers and we are not robots. You have to build your vocabulary store. Our brain gives us what we put in it. So if you have a month to your test, it's not too late. Start building your vocabulary store. How can you do that? One simple way is during your day-to-day activity, be intentional about looking for new words. For example, you're watching a movie and you hear a new word on TV. First of all, write down the word. Try to guess the meaning in the context, from the context that it was used in the movie. Try to guess the meaning. And if you guess the meaning, look at your dictionary. What's the meaning of this word? Write it down. Then the word, the meaning of the word. Think of synonyms. What are other ways that I can say this word without using this exact word? Think of or look for synonyms, and then think of an example that you could use the word in, or examples. And finally, during the course of your day-to-day activity, or during the course of your day's activity, look for an opportunity to use that word. Trust me, just writing down words is not going to help you. I have a long list of words I picked from movies, from books, from practices. They're all there. But the only ones I can remember are the ones I really took interest in. I wrote down the meaning, think of synonyms, think of an example, and then use it in my day-to-day activities. Those are the words that I have in my vocabulary store. So just picking words on your day, as you go about your day-to-day activity isn't really gonna help you in any way. You have to be intentional about using the words that you've learned. Now you can start today. Have you found any word today? Have you heard any word today? I can give you one. I can give you one. Let's use the word cliche. Of course I used cliche in this video earlier on. From the context I used the word. Can you guess the meaning of the word? You can start with that. Write it down. My vocabulary journal. Write down the word cliche. What is the meaning of this word? Think about it from the context I use it. Then use your dictionary. Write it down. Think of synonyms. Write down synonyms, and then think of an example on how you can use the word. As you go about your daily activities, try to use that word in your... Hopefully, these two very basic tips is gonna help you as you prepare for your tests. Bye.